In 2006, my husband and I went to Panama. And I was going to geek out because I wanted to see the Panama Canal. We rented a car. The driver says, please, whatever you do, don't look out on the sides. Just look forward. Well, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to look out of the sides. I saw children, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they're in diapers, moms with babies holding them, and they were in the sewer. I saw a little girl pick a cup up, scoop it, and drink. And I'm like, I didn't even have words, and I said to her, I go, what is wrong with our world that this is okay? That this is not okay. And don't tell me there's not enough money in the world, that we can't fix these problems. I don't even remember seeing the Panama Canal. It was such an impactful thing. And that day I said, you know what? Someday I'm gonna use the talents that God gave me and that I am actually going to grow and develop to come back and fix that. That's my why.
We're living through a food revolution. A pivotal moment in history, and most of us don't even realize it's happening. We're facing a challenge unlike any we've seen before: how to feed a planet with over 8 billion hungry mouths. But our current system isn't sustainable. Intensive agriculture is putting a strain on our planet. Deforestation, water shortages, greenhouse gas emissions. The environmental impact is staggering. The world's population is growing faster than ever before. More people means more mouths to feed, and that means we need to find a way to produce more food. But we've got to do it better this time. This is a story about finding solutions. A story about innovation, sustainability, and one woman's mission to create a better future for us all. So how do we tackle a challenge this big? Where do we even begin? The answers might surprise you, because right here, in the heart of Canada's prairies, a quiet revolution is taking root. Lethbridge, Alberta. A town known for its agricultural heritage, where generations have worked the land. But now, this community is becoming a hub for innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the world of food. This is PIP International, not your typical food factory. This place is where cutting-edge technology meets a passion for sustainability. Meet Christine Lewington, the powerhouse behind PIP. Her vision?
To be the best protein isolate facility in the world.
Here's the thing about pea protein. It hasn't always had the best reputation, but PIP?
At the beginning of the story, I said, oh, not pea protein. It tastes terrible.
But PIP is changing the game. They've developed a unique process that's more efficient, more sustainable, and produces a higher quality protein.
There's no facility like this size in the world. We've converted a brewery into a pea processing facility. And it's something that can seed the market, we call it, with hundreds of metric tons to get our product out there, get large companies trying it, small companies trying it, and getting consumers to understand that pea protein does not have to taste terrible.
And that's not all. Christine and her team are committed to walking the talk when it comes to sustainability. It's not just about the bottom line. It's about doing things the right way, respecting the planet, and creating a food system that works for everyone.
It's not just the end result of what it is, it's how we're doing it. So we really walk the talk here, and we're investing in it. Our investors are behind it.
So who is Christine Lewington? Where did this passion for problem solving and sustainability come from? Even as a kid, Christine had a knack for spotting opportunities.
When I was 10 years old, my neighbor asked me to babysit. And way back then, $1.50, you were cashing in an hour. So I started doing this babysitting gig. And when I did it, I actually added value. So I'd clean the house too and do all these things. And so I would have triple booking. People would be like, hey, well, I'll pay you $2.50. I'll pay you $3.50. And that was unheard of back then. So I then got my friends and said, okay, if you'll babysit and you'll make sure you clean their kitchen, then I'll give you my babysitting job, but I get 50 cents an hour of whatever you make. So I didn't know way back when what I was doing, and I did not tell my parents what I was doing, but suddenly I was buying myself a TV when I was 13 years old, and my parents were like, you're making $1.50 an hour. How are you doing this? Are you a criminal? No, I had actually started doing the entrepreneurial. I can take a cup of peas that's worth 17 cents and turn it into a cup of pea protein worth $1,000.
But Christine's journey to success wasn't always easy. She faced challenges that many women in STEM fields know all too well. Imagine walking into a room full of people and you're the only one who looks like you.
So I went through university. The first day of class, I show up and it's me and 300 boys. I call them boys because they're much younger than me now, but men. And I was like, oh, my first thought was, oh, look at the dating pool. But about 10 minutes later, when the professor had us up at the board, the boy beside me said, what are you doing here? I didn't date any of those boys, and I beat all those boys.
Christine didn't let those doubts hold her back. She knew she belonged, and she proved it.
But when I graduated and I came out, I could not get an interview for anything. So someone said to me, change your name from Christine to Chris. The next week, I have 14 interviews.
Gender bias is a real problem, and Christine's experience is just one example of the barriers that women in STEM face every day. Okay, so we've talked about the problem. Now, let's get to the solutions. This is where things get really exciting. Welcome to PIP International, Christine's brainchild. This isn't just some factory churning out food. It's a revolution in the making.
We are going to be the best protein isolate facility in the world.
Christine's vision is bold, to create the highest quality, most sustainable pea protein on the planet. And they're not messing around. PIP is using cutting-edge tech to do things differently.
The very first purchase order we issued when we purchased this facility was to put solar on the roof. We don't say we're going to do it and then maybe go do it later. We actually do it and then we celebrate it. So wet fractionation is what we do. We use water to actually support the protein when it comes out. Is usually a very water intensive process. So yes, we use water, but we recirculate. And recirculate is a bad word in this term, but we take it out, we retreat it, we clean it, we retreat it, and we can enter it back in. So if it is not evaporated off at the dryer, it's 98% we recycle the water, we reuse the water. So we've removed a very heavy sustainable piece, and we've reduced the amount of water we need because all the other processes actually add more water so they can put them in these big, tall spray dryers. The other exciting thing is our team figured out how to take our starch and fiber and add a proprietary resin to it. And we're going to be able to add our pea hulls to it in the future and make plant-based packaging. So we're envisioning our pea protein is going to go out one door and our plant-based packaging is going to go out the other. So the whole pea is going to be used.
But it's not just about high-tech gadgets. Remember that experience in Panama? Christine hasn't forgotten. Sustainability is built into PIP's DNA. It's about respecting the planet and doing things the right way from the ground up.
The other night, people were leaving and some of the lights are on timers. They walk over and they turn the lights off. And that might seem something very simple, but it's what they do here. And, things are recycled and I don't even have to ask people to do it. And it was funny, we spilled some pea flour on the floor and they, instead of just sweeping it up and throwing it out, they swept it up and put it into the waste where the starch and fiber was going to go out. So everything has a purpose.
All right, time for a peek behind the curtain. How does PIP actually transform those tiny peas into protein gold? It's a bit like a high-tech magic trick, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, PIP is pulling protein out of peas. And they're doing it in a way that's way more sustainable than traditional methods. First, the peas get a good wash and a gentle grind. Then, using a special process, and I won't bore you with the sciencey details, PIP separates the protein from the rest of the pea. The end result? a high-quality, plant-based protein that's packed with nutrients and ready to be used in all kinds of delicious foods. Think protein shakes, veggie burgers, even vegan ice cream. But this innovative process wouldn't be possible without the peas themselves. And that's where the farmers come in. Meet Scott. He's an agronomist, basically a plant professor. He knows everything there is to know about growing peas. And trust me, it's way more complicated than you might think.
Agronomy is advising to farmers. It's like a veterinarian to animals or to an animal farm. Then agronomy is crops and soils advising.
Growing peas in this part of the world isn't easy. It's dry, it's windy, not exactly ideal conditions. But Scott helps farmers navigate those challenges and make sure those little peas thrive. So, what makes peas so special? Why are they the chosen ones for this protein revolution? Time to get those peas off the field and check out this awesome machine. It's like a giant vacuum cleaner for peas. Okay, so maybe growing peas in a near desert isn't a walk in the park. But here's the cool part. Peas are actually pretty awesome plants. First of all, they're like little nitrogen factories. They pull nitrogen from the air and put it back into the soil, making it healthier for other crops. That's what we call a win-win.
The biggest difference they have is that they are a legume, and so they are able to get their own nitrogen from the air.
And get this, peas are drought tolerant. They don't need a ton of water to thrive. In a world facing water shortages, that's a big deal.
With the interest in plant-based proteins, it grows the demand for the actual product, and then that comes down to the farm level.
So, peas are good for the planet, good for the farmers, but are they good for you? Let's find out. All right, time to switch gears. Let's talk about what all this plant-based protein actually means for you, the hungry consumer. Welcome to Solstice Juice. It's like a haven for healthy living. Think fresh, delicious juices, vibrant salads, and good vibes all around.
Lauren Hart and I, we both just believe in living sustainably and having that passion towards the future and watching things grow in that direction.
Sustainability isn't just a buzzword here. It's a way of life. Solstice Juice is all about local sourcing, reducing waste, and making healthy choices that are good for you and the planet. But here's the real question. Are people actually choosing plant-based options? Are they ready to ditch the meat and embrace the pea? Let's find out.
Yeah, I think the biggest obstacle for people when they're turning towards plant-based foods is just finding convenient options for them.
Salads, smoothies, juice cleanses, they've got it all. And they even deliver. No excuses, right?
There's quite a few people I know that shop from us regularly, and they buy the juice just to get that vegetable intake because they don't like eating vegetables, but they love the juices. It's a good way for people to consume them and just giving things another try, because there is ways to make it taste good. You just gotta figure what works best for you.
And don't worry, you don't have to sacrifice flavor for health. Plant-based food can be seriously delicious. But what about pea protein? Can it really compete with the taste of traditional protein sources? Christine's got a story that might surprise you. Remember the Coke versus Pepsi challenge? Well, Christine put her pea protein to the ultimate test. She gathered a group of people for a blind taste test. Pea protein versus traditional protein. No labels, just pure taste. And the results?
Everybody chose ours. And we believe in our product, we believe in PIP, but that was just another huge, exclamation mark behind it, that we do have a great product, the best product.
Pea protein that actually tastes good? That's a game changer. No more gritty textures or weird aftertastes. Christine proved that plant-based protein can be delicious. So, what's next for Christine and Pip International? Hold on to your hats, because things are about to get really ambitious. She doesn't just want to change the protein game, she wants to change the world.
In 5 years from now, Pip will be pounding out 1,200 metric ton of pea protein out of this and have global reach. And people will know the Pip name, especially in the plant-based area, that it actually provided choice. In 10 years, PIP will have 5 large facilities around the world providing clean, sustainable protein into the corners of the world.
Imagine a world where plant-based protein is accessible to everyone, everywhere. A world where our food system is sustainable and equitable. That's the future Christine is building. It's a future where we can all thrive without sacrificing the health of our planet. A future where a tiny pea might just be the key to a brighter tomorrow.